What's up guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be exploring two completely different versions of Windows 10. This is the oldest version of Windows 10, so 1507 or 10.24.0. And this is the newest one, so 22H2. Build this, I don't know, that's too long. But yeah, let's get into it. So first, probably the first difference you can see is probably the wallpaper. That's how it evolved over the years. What is strange to me is here the taskbar. So you can see here you have the clock. No, you have the notifications and then you have the clock. But here you have the complete opposite. You have the clock and then you have the notifications. Now, differences to these menus. This is like bigger and it has like some transparency. Which here it's I don't think it's even transparent. And the numbers are smaller. Now to the notifications. This is much more transparent. And here you got like here in the corner Action Center, which here you don't have it. You just have here no new notifications like here. And automatically I have here collapse, but here I have expand, and I do not have a night light. Now the second most obvious thing you can see here is the taskbar icons. As you can see, the store looks completely different. The Explorer is slightly lighter here and older than a newer, and Edge looks completely different. Now let's look at the start menu. As you can see here, you have the apps expanded automatically, which here you have to see all apps and it's new. We only have Microsoft apps here, which here you have LinkedIn, Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Solitaire Collection. Yeah, LinkedIn is just not for Microsoft. Now probably the most obvious thing you can locate here is Cortana is still here, which it's still here. Let's launch. And as you can see, it looks completely different. And as you can see here, it says Cortana in Windows as a standalone app is depreciated. And here it doesn't even know because it isn't connected to the internet. Here it isn't too. But this machine actually hasn't been connected to the internet because we just update. Which here I don't really care. And she needs me to sign into a Microsoft account. Two times, okay? She needs me to sign in 2 times. Now, but let's get a look into the settings app. As you can see here, it says Windows isn't activated, which is true. Here I activated, yes. But as you can see, there's at the top is more stuff, which here it just says 2 times settings, which here it only says 1 time. Here it's on the center, which here we have much more options. We have like 12 options. No, 13 options. And here we have just 9. And that reason is if you go to control panel. Now, this older Windows 10 is much more like Windows 8.1. So it just has more stuff in the control panel, as you can see. Only 3 options here under System and Security. And here we have 4. Or here under Appearance and Personalization, this is completely different looking. And we have 2 options, which we have no option. Now let's look at the Task Manager. So really nothing changed about the Task Manager, you know, it's completely the same. But let's look at the resource usage. Windows 10 release is eating 20% RAM on idle, but Windows 10 is eating 60%. Here, as you can see, we have 3 apps running in the background, and here we have 4. That's because Windows Defender became a thing in Windows 10 1607, which is 1 year behind, I think, this version. And much more CPU usage. This is half of our CPU. We have 2 cores. Here we have 1 core. As you can see, we have 2% utilization, 3, in which here it just idles out like 50. Now that may be to Windows Defender because it's just scanning, but I don't think so. Now just scrolling here through the apps, they just look different. That's because they're newer and older. Probably The weirdest thing is here to right click on the Windows menu. Because here it says command prompt, and here it moves to Windows PowerShell. And here you have control panel, and here you have settings. Now let's keep the task manager open here in the corner, and let's open Edge on both of our systems. So I'll quickly do that. Now Edge is still launching here, and here it's completely launched. As you can see, I go back to task manager, a gig of RAM, and here is eating 70% RAM, so 10% more. And here it's eating just more CPU usage overall. Yeah, Microsoft Edge is just trash in the new version. Now, when you boot up these computers, they might look completely the same. But when we go to the password selection, as you can see, here you have the Windows 10 wallpaper, even though it had a completely different lock screen picture. And here it just blurs it. And we have a completely different network icon. Now let's test out Store. And as you can see, these look completely different. Here it tells me to check my connection and refresh the page. This is not a button, but here, check connection is a button. Also, they made the buttons bigger. And here we have account, sign in, which here we just don't have. Now on the other hand, search looks completely different. Here it wants me to use Cortana, and here it just tells me my top apps and my recents. And here it wants me to sign in. Now here it wants to have some web search. I can search settings. Here we have some settings of the search. Now here you can just disable it to not have web results. Yes, so here you can now turn it off. And here you can try Cortana, or here it doesn't even know what Cortana is because it doesn't even want me to use it. Now in the start menu here at the top on old Windows 10 I have the user. As you can see, change account settings, lock and sign out. And here it's near the power button and settings, and when I click it we have completely same options but with icon. So here I have calculator. As you can see, here it kinda looks the same but the buttons don't have the grid. Here they do. And when I go to the hamburger menu, this just looks like it doesn't have icons, and it is missing like the currency option like here. Also, when I searched up calculator, it said trust in Windows Store app, but when I go here, it just says app. Now that is because Microsoft Store here was a completely new feature because most people just didn't use Windows 8 and 8.1 where Store was introduced. So here they just want to let you know that, hey, use Store and the app will not infect your system. And here Mail looks completely different, and here it's not Mail but it's Outlook, and it's not even pre-installed. Now here you can see I have Get Skype and Get Office, but here it's not even here. So they really wanted you to use Microsoft apps because they just integrated well here with Windows 10. Now here I don't think I even have Xbox installed. Here as you can see, it wants me to install the Xbox app, but here when I open the Xbox app it just crashes. Now I don't know if that's because it just has like a time bomb, or it's just because we're not connected to the internet, but that just should have shown like connect their internet. But yeah, I think that'll be all for this video. Like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.